out of flesh, and ascended unto his Father God alive. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all who may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779, lasting until 1865 during the time of slavery. This is a new era of time, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali his prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all lifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children, look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Moorish American prayer, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Thus took a reading from the Divine Constitution and Bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Next, I'd like to turn your attention to the great meeting is on. Querying questions from Moorish America. Page 7. Questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their adab meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around in the meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation, and if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time, and all men now must proclaim the 3 national names to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all the uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, with the guidance of his father, God Allah. Thus, I took a reading from the questionnaire and additional laws to the Moorish Americans by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, Quran questions from Moorish Americans. Next, I'd like to turn your attention to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life, his father God Allah. Know thyself in Allah, the genealogy of Jesus, life and works of Jesus in India, Europe, and Africa, and the land of Egypt. I'd like to turn to page 42, from the divine instruction from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 35, only instructions from the Prophet, religion. There is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. The sun is not Allah, though his noble of image. He enlighteneth the world with his brightness. His warmth giveth life to the products of the earth. Admire him as a creature, the instrument of Allah, but worship him not. To the one who is supreme, most wise, and beneficent, and to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. Who hath stretched forth the heavens with his hand, who hath described with his finger the courses of the stars, who setteth bounds to the ocean, that it cannot pass, and saith unto the stormy winds, be still, who shaketh the earth, and the nations tremble, who dareth his lightnings, and the wicked are dismayed, who calleth forth worlds by the words of his mouth, who smiteth with his arm, and they sink into night. O reverence the majesty of the Omnipotent, and tempt not his anger, lest thou be destroyed. The providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth and directeth with infinite wisdom. He hath instituted laws for the government of the world, that wonderfully vary them in all beings, and each by his nature conformeth to his work. In the depth of his mind, he revolveth all knowledge. The secrets of futurity lie open before him. The thoughts of thy heart are naked to his view. He knoweth thy determination before they are made. With respect to his prescience, there is nothing contingent. With respect to his providence, there is nothing accidental. Wonderful he is in all his ways. His counsels are inscrutable. The manner of his knowledge transcendeth thy conception. Pay therefore to his wisdom all honor and veneration, and bow down thyself in humble and submissive obedience to his supreme discretion. The Father is gracious and beneficent. He hath created the world in mercy and love. His creatures of his hand declare his goodness, and their enjoyment speak of his praise. He clothed them with beauty, he supported them with food, he preserved them with pleasure, from generation to generation. If we lift up our eyes to the heavens, his glory shining forth. If we cast them down on earth, it is full of his goodness. The hills and the valleys rejoice and sing. Fields, rivers, and woods resound his praise. But thee he hath distinguished with peculiar favor, and exalted thy station above all creatures. He hath endued thee with reason to maintain thy dominion. He hath fitted thee with language to improve thy society, and exalted thy mind with the powers of meditation to contemplate and adore his immutable perfection. And in the laws he hath ordained as a rule of life, so kindly hath he united thy duty to thy nature, that obedience to his precepts is happiness to thyself. O praise his goodness with songs of thanksgiving, and meditate in silence on the wonders of his love. Let thy heart overflow with gratitude and acknowledgement. Let the language of thy lips be praise and adoration. Let the actions of thy life show thy love to his law. Allah is just and righteous, and will judge the earth with equity and truth. Hath he established his laws in goodness and mercy, and shall he not punish the transgressors thereof? O think not, bold men, because thy punishment is delayed, that the arm of Allah is weakened. Neither flatter thyself with hopes that he winketh at thy doings. His eye pierceth the secrets of every heart, and he remembereth them forever. He respecteth not the persons or the stations of men, the high and the low, the rich and the poor, the wise and the ignorant. When the soul hath shaken off the cumbrous shackles of his mortal life, shall equally receive from the sentence of just and everlasting retribution according to their works. Then shall the wicked tremble and be afraid, but the heart of the righteous shall rejoice in his judgments. O fear Allah, therefore, all the days of thy life, and walk in the path which he hath opened before thee. Let prudence admonish thee, let temperance restrain, let justice guide thy hand, benevolence warm thy heart, and gratitude to heaven inspire thee with devotion. These shall give thee happiness in thy present state, and bring thee to the mansions of eternal felicity in the paradise of Allah. This is the true economy of human life. Fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation in North America need to learn to love instead of hate, to know their higher self and lower self. This is a uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca, for the teaching and instructing of all North Americans, etc. The Holy Quran and the Moorish Science Temple of America, know yourself and your Father God Allah. They may learn to love instead of hate. Every man need to worship under his own vine and picture. Uniting of age. Islam. Happy Holy Day. I just want to say praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah for being able to share this time with you more and be able to read from a beautiful chapter on religion. And I'm grateful to be able to practice religion and say all you want. That I pass the meeting over to the chairman for the key person.
I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running up the Moorish highway. If my brother don't go, I can't tarry. If my brother don't go, I can't tarry. If my brother don't go, I can't tarry. I'm running up the Moorish highway. I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running up the Moorish highway. If my sister don't go, I can't tarry. If my sister don't go, I can't tarry. If my sister don't go, I can't tarry. I'm running up the Moorish highway. I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running. I can't tarry, I'm running up the Moorish highway. Islam. Shall rise in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praises due to Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. To the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent, to him alone belongs worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praises. I like to say, praise Allah for sending the divine prophet, the last prophet in days and time, who came in due time, to the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America, teaching them how to learn to love instead of hate, teaching them about their higher self and lower self, teaching those things that make them better men, better women, better husbands, better wives for their children. These those things that make them be industrious. Our prophet,
And your brother, man, Prophet Noble Jawali, born in the state of North Carolina, that was 18 when we said, all right, we want all the prophets of Allah, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I like to want to the harbinger of the Prophet Noble Jawali, and John the Baptist was to use in those days and time. So was Marcus God to our prophet, he's Muslim days and time, who did start the nation, who did say, up your mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. I like to give honors in conjunction with the Secretary Chairman, Acting Chairman, in conjunction. I'd like to give honor to everyone who's working for the uplifting upon humanity. I'd like to give honor to each and every one of you. Praise Allah for allowing us the opportunity to come on this Friday, holy day, for all Muslims all over the world to propagate the faith and extend the learning of the great truths of the Prophet of Ali in America. So we want to extend that. Always extend it. Because you got to teach our people. That's the only way they're Saturday. You got to teach them about their salvation, and they can save themselves.
That's right.
A man honors man, he honors Father God Allah. One man does for man, he does for Father God Allah. I'd like to turn your attention to the Holy Quran and more South of America, Circle 7. Divinely prepared by the noble Prophet Ali, that God to his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God Allah. I'd like to go to page 13, Divine Instruction by the Holy Prophet, chapter 8. Jesus revealed to the people of their sinful ways. In all the city of Jerusalem, Jesus taught at the camp by the riverside. He taught, and thousands of people followed him. One day, a car of juggernaut was hauled along by scores of frenzied men. And Jesus said, behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fire. This car of Krishna is an empty thing, for Krishna is not there. This car is but an idol of the people drunk on wine and carnal things. Allah lives not in the noise of tongue. There is no way to him from any idle shrine. Allah means faith with man is in the heart, and in a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still. And all the people said, teach us to know the Holy One, who speaks within the heart, Allah the still small voice. And Jesus says, the Holy Bread cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the Spirit of the Holy One. But in their image, man was made, and he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks with him. And when man honors man, and honors Allah, what man does for man, he does for Allah. And you must bear in mind that when a man harm in thought, or word, or deed another man, he does it wrong for Allah. If you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near kin, and those who are no kin, the stranger at your gates, the foe who seeks to do you harm. Assist the poor and help the weak, and do harm to none, and covet not what is not yours. Then, with your tongue, the Holy One will speak. He will smile behind your tears, will light your countenance with joy, and fill your heart with peace. And then the people said, to whom shall we bring gifts? Where shall we offer sacrifice? And Jesus said, our Father Allah hath asked not the needless waste of plant, of grain, of dove, or lamb. That which you burn in any shrine you throw away. No blessing can attend to the one who takes the food from hungry mouths to be destroyed by fire. When you will offer sacrifice unto Allah, just take your gift of grain or meat and lay it on the table of the poor. From it an incense will arise to heaven, which will return to you with blessedness. Hear on your idols, they can hear you not. Turn all your sacrificial altar into the fuel for the flame. Make human hearts your altar, and burn your sacrifice with the fire of love. And all the people were in trance and would have Jesus as a God. But Jesus says, I am your brother man, just come to show you the way to Allah. You shall not worship man, but praise Allah, the Holy One. This I read the entire chapter, Divine Instruction of the Holy Prophet, chapter 8. Jesus revealed to the people of the temple way, the fallen sons and daughters of Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, to know their higher self and lower self. This united the Holy Quran and Mecca for teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. From the Holy Quran and Moorish Science of America. Know yourself and your Father God Allah, that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship on his own vine and fig tree, uniting of Asia. Praise Allah for these divine instructions. Praise Allah for sending us a divine prophet who came in due time to us to get us back to the high plane of life with our Father God Allah. Letting us know who we are, who our forefathers were, connected back to the higher power. So praise Allah that even though we talk about just reveal the people of the sinful ways, the Prophet Ali came to reveal us from our sinful ways. By calling ourselves Negro, Black, on all these labels that are due to slavery. He did the same thing. But this was, like I say, he was in India, working with the brothers in India, who had a different perspective, a different understanding of who they were, who their forefathers were, and who they were connected. Because remember, they had that caste system. You know, everybody had a little layer, but like I said, you know, that's why a lot of times it was acting the way it was, because that was one of their practice. Gifts. When we make a sacrifice, because that was one of their practice. Just like I said, but you just told them before, you know, Allah being paid with man is in the heart. And in a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still. And all the people said, teach us to know the Holy One who speaketh in the heart. Allah is still small voice. So praise Allah that he came and let us know that Allah and man are one. From the beginning, let us know that from the beginning. Let us know that Allah and man are one. And that two carnal thoughts, word and deed, man tore himself away from Allah to base himself. They asked him, you know, this one. And Jesus said, the holy breaths cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the spirit of the Holy One. But in their image, man was made, and he who looks into the face of man, look at the image of Allah who speaks within. So I don't care who they are, they have Allah in them. Whether they deal with the higher self or lower self, that's the only way they can exist on this plane, they can be manifest. And that's the only way they can do it. See what you, that's one of the things that we say. And when man honors man, he honors Father God. What man does for man, he does for Allah. So you see that we deal with all mankind because we here to uplift fallen humanity. See, so we know the spirit of Allah is in them. You know, sometimes the higher self is so overwhelming over to them that they show all that demon side, that negative side, that lower self side. And sometimes they try to drag you at that level. Sometimes, you know, magnetic, trying to pull you down to that level, because every ether go up in the ethers of the native plane, and we don't want to get caught up in that lower level plane. We don't want to get caught up in that plane. So you say what man does for man, he does for Allah. So each time you do something for somebody, you're doing it for Allah. That's what I'm saying. You're not getting caught up, you know, what you know, with the mere ideas of men, because mere ideas of men are ignorant, you know, because they get caught up in what seems to be, what is not. Because in all the world are two things. The one is truth, and the other is false, and false is that which seems to be. And a lot of people get caught up in what seems to be. So praise Allah. And you must bear in mind that when man harm in thought or word or deed another man, he does it wrong to Allah. So he says, whatever you're dealing with, you know, when you harm another man, you say harm to Allah, you know. You does it wrong to Allah. Now you can't harm Allah. You does it wrong to Allah. That's very important. So we want to be able to, because the Prophet said in one of the chapters, saying also about the thoughts. He said the thoughts of affliction, wounded deeper than the affliction itself. So be careful of your thoughts. Careful about how you put that thought out there, because thought is the cause of it all. You create You know, you create with that thought. You can destroy with that thought. You can harm another person. So the thought of affliction wounded deeper than the affliction itself. So that's why I say, you know, Allah and His divine prophet, we came with and brought us the things that we need. You know, to start looking at the world in an all different light. Brother say, yeah, you gonna rule again, but this time you gotta rule it in love. You know, you gotta rule it in love. So praise Allah. When you know, and if you would serve Allah, He speaks within the heart. Just serve your near kin. And those who are no kin, the stranger at your gate, and the foe who seek to do you harm. Assist the poor and help the weak, and do harm to none, and cover not what is not yours. Then, with your tongue, the Holy One will speak, and He will smile behind your tears, and light your countenance with joy, and fill your hearts with peace. That's what we got to work in that temple. The temple that we talking about, the temple within. That's the temple that we're working on, purifying. You know, so that energy and that spirit of Allah can use us, and not us. Use us as the vehicle to transmit His message. Then with your tongue, the Holy One will speak. That's what we got to get to tonight. You know, that's what we got to do. We're gonna get to that level. Then we go here. And then all the people said, to whom shall we bring gift? Where shall we offer sacrifice? And Jesus said, our Father, Allah, ask not for needless waste of plant, of grain, of dove, or land, that we should burn in any shrine, you throw away. No blessing can attend to the one who takes the food from hungry mouth to be destroyed by fire. You know, when you would offer sacrifice unto Allah, just take your gift of grain or meat and lay it on the table of the poor. That's what we got to sit before and help the weak and do on tonight. From it, an incense will arrive to heaven, which will return to you with blessedness. Tear down your idols. They can hear you now. Burn all your sacrificial altar into the fuel for the flame. Make human hearts your altar and burn your sacrifice what? With the fire of love. Because love is the only savior of the world, because Allah is love. That's one of our first principles, love. You got to love, and that's what He tells us over and over. We got to learn to love instead of hate. He tells us over and over, we got to learn to love instead of hate. Learn to love instead of hate. And all the people were in trance and would have Jesus as a God. And Jesus said, I am your brother, man. Just come to show you the way to Allah. You shall not worship man. Praise Allah and holy man. You know, you can worship yourself because you didn't get caught up in the vanity. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get caught up in the vanity of yourself, even though you know what I'm saying? Some people will take that around with it. Oh, you have to use a God. Oh, wow, yeah. Everybody look up to them. We was on a mission to teach them, to show them about Allah and man and one. That's why I always say, their souls are just as precious in the sight of this year. You Brahmin priests. See? Tell them all the time. You know, their souls, because you sat with the courtesans, the thieves, and the extortioners. But praise Allah that Prophet Ali brought us these divine instructions and allow us to look at ourselves, to study ourselves, and be ourselves, because that's very important. You know, you got to be the message that you bring. And the prophet, that's what the prophet brought. What we brought us what we needed to get us back to that state of God-man and the God-woman-like self again. You know, and praise Allah for our sisters setting the example. A child is as perfect as the mother is. Like, they take their time and nurture them and season their mind with the maximum of truth. Watch the bent of the inclination, you know, setting them right in their youth. Because we got to watch them. But they take on certain things, especially when we're dealing with this world, this mad human drama. You know, and then our children has to be amongst them. And if we don't strengthen them, they get caught up. They get caught up by their peers, start following them everywhere they go. We don't want that. You want them to be the example. No, we don't do that. We worship her. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what age they are. You don't want to make sure they represent that. You put that in them early. You call themselves anything else, no, I'm a worshiper. That's what we want to pound it in. was out from the Sunday school congregation of the nation. I just would like to call the first speaker here. Before I bring him forward, please give me all divine attention. I'd like to call Brother K. Turner Bay, our assistant treasurer, after the song.
The prophet came to put us on the main line. We on the main line. The prophet came to put us on the main line. He brought us our religion, our flag and grace. The prophet came to put us on the main line. He connected us back to the human race. The prophet came to put us on the main line. We on the main line, the main line. The prophet came to put us on the main line. We on the main line, the main line. The prophet came to put us on the main line. He brought us our religion, our flag and grace. The prophet came to put us on the main line. He said the Mordecai's temple was our place. The prophet came to put us on the main line. We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came to put us on the main line. We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came to put us on the main line. Islam, 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 Islam. Woo. I rise, giving praises to Allah and honors to the Prophet. Praise Allah. Noble Jew Ali, who gave us everything it takes to save the nation, said, take it and save yourself. I give honors to the forerunner of the Prophet, Brother Marcus Mosaic Garvey, who said, up, up, you mighty race, and accomplish what you will. I give honors to the flag of my birth, the American flag, and the flag of my descent, the Moorish flag, red flag with a 5-pointed green star, known to represent and symbolize the 5 highest principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So I want to give honors to the acting chairman from Smithfield and the chairman and everything they gave honors to. I give honor to you because when man honors man, he honors his father, God, Allah.
That's right. Praise Allah.
It's long. I'm smiling because Allah is like that. He's funny. Because as I'm saying these words, the seriousness and the realization of the words is, you know how when you got an idea, the light come on in your head? Like, I just heard that. And it makes so much sense, right? Like when the brother was reading the chapter, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 8, Jesus reveals to the people of their sinful ways. And I was reading the instruction 22. It says, make human heart your altar.
That's right.
And that got me to reflect, like, what's an altar? What do people do at altars? They pray and they give sacrifices, right? So I was like, wow, he's instructing us to pray to the heart of man. I forget which brother was talking about the demonstration that we can talk to the Allah in each other. It was something to that nature. I know I'm maybe butchering it, but that right there is what the brother was saying. But when a person don't want you to talk to their heart, how does that look? When they harden their heart, how does that look? How does that feel to receive that? Right? That don't feel too good. When you can't appeal to the Allah in someone. Because they close up their heart, I mean their ears is closed. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear the Allah in you, nor want to speak to Allah out themselves. I dealt with that this week. I was in the store dealing with the lady at the cash register. Whew, man, it took everything to, hold my composure. Because I'm still, striving with anger at things that I feel I wouldn't do to myself or I wouldn't do on to other people, right? I feel I get, stirred up in those moments the most. When something happens that I wouldn't do to that individual, I get stirred up the most. So I had to, reflect on the lessons again, right? Because is that the truth? Is her actions the truth? Is she walking with truth? No. She's going off assumptions, what she thinks she knows, stereotypes, just another Asiatic acting like a Negro. So I had to step back and smile, just like I did now, just reflecting on the words that just made sense, right? It goes on to say, and burn your sacrifices with the fire of love.
Right.
So if I pray to the heart and man with the fire of love, what it say? We're gonna go back. Page 13. It says in instruction 15, then with your tongue the Holy One will speak and he will smile behind your tears. Light your countenance with joy and fill your hearts with peace.
So
That's serious. But I think that takes something. I think that takes belief, faith, and fruition.
That's right.
To even apply that. You gotta believe. Remember, that's what we think perhaps is true. Maybe this can happen if I come to you in love. Right? Then we got faith. I know this is what's gonna happen. But what's the fruition? Absolute. Ain't no doubt that that's what's gonna happen. Because Allah is leading and victory is assured. No matter what the lower self may breathe, because we already know what it breathes. It act out, right? It's like some of the actions of the soul. Rash. We just do things and sometimes we don't even know. We don't even know we're doing it, or we being spiteful, right? Still actions of the lower self. But when we realize this, right? When I realized the humbleness comes, like, why did I always think what brought me to that point? What brought myself, right? Because everything's a reflection of within. So what brought myself to act outside of myself? Because is it in my nature? I think the Holy Prophet said he brought us back, right? To be in tune with the vibrations of Allah, right? That's not others playing for me or any of us. Because we try to get back to a place, that balance, that peace. We a mean, stiff-necked set of people. The prophet said, and we striving, But you gotta laugh at the follies. That's the follies, because we gonna mess up. We gonna do something to mess up harmony within ourselves, outside of ourselves. That's what I know to do. That's what I do. That's what I did. Still a little stumbling left. But I praise Allah for me being humble and recognizing myself.
Praise Allah.
Being able to look myself in the mirror and say, Corey, you gotta do better. Praise Allah. Because who's gonna do it for me? We can help each other, pull each other's weeds, in a positive light, but we gotta put in our own work. If we actually love or have love, we gotta love ourselves first. Because what I realize is when we start acting out, when we start treating each other in a certain negative tone, that's really us. That's a part of us not liking a part of ourselves. That's what I said to myself. I came in Islam, and I want to thank the chairman for calling on me. I came in Islam, and I leave in peace. Everybody say, amen. Everybody say, amen. Amen. Talk about the prophet. Tell them all the stories. Talk about the prophet. Amen. Amen. Honor to the father. Honor to the mother. Honor to the children. Honor to the temple. Honor to the grand chief. Honor to the sisters. Amen. Honor to the Father. Honor to Allah. Honor to the Father. Islam. I like to thank Brother K. Turner Bay for reading from the Divine Instruction upon the Holy Prophet. Chapter 8, Jesus revealed the secret of the sinful way. 22 talking about the altar, and also instructions 15. And it's good because we got to examine ourselves. And also we got to remember that nature urges thee to inconstancy. Therefore, guard thyself at all times against it. So we got something in that nature that sometimes, like I said, overpower, us in one way or the other. So we got to guard ourselves at all times against it. It's a fight that we have to fight. It's a foe that we have to fight, because we talk about the fight between good and evil, positive and negative. Nobody wants you to get back when you start striving, getting back with your Father God Allah. Oh, they're gonna come at you hard. Your force will just wait for you to slip. Oh, I got you now. But we have to get to the point where it's away from me, unthinking thoughts. My heart is fixed. Away from me. You gotta get them away, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, we deal with people with the higher stuff and lower stuff. And sometimes when they at that plane, oh man, they try to drag you into that plane. They try to drag you to that level. You don't want to get to that level. Praise Allah. Thank you for reading also this comment. At this time, I'd like to call it next week, and even before I bring it forward, please give me all of my attention. I'd like to call Treasurer, Brother R. Jordan Eel, after the song. Little wheel turning. The wheel turning, the wheel turning in my heart. Oh, yeah, turning, the wheel turning. Must be the love of Allah. Must be the love of Allah. Oh, yes, it must be the love of Allah. Must be the love of Allah. Must be the love of Allah. Don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it. No. Oh, my friend, oh, don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it. No. It's that old time religion. Old time religion, old time religion, in your, oh my God, old time religion, old time religion, old time religion.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Moors, happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
All right. First, I want to rise and give praise to the great God, Allah, the Father of the universe. I want to give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors his Father, God, Allah.
That's right.
I want to give honors to all past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators. I want to give honors to the past leadership, Brother R. Love L. I want to give honors to our current leadership, Brother R. Jones Bay. I want to give honors to his assistant, to all national officials. I want to give honors to all state and local officials. I want to give honors to our Grand Sheikh here at Temple 34, Brother W. Clendenin Bay, and his assistant, Sister C. Seals Ill. I want to give honors to our treasurer, assistant treasurer, Brother K. Turner Bay. I want to give honors to our secretary, Sister J. Jordan L., and her assistant, Brother I. Smith Eel. I want to give honors to our chairman, Brother C. Ferguson L. Eel, excuse me. He likes me to say Eel. I want to give honors to our assistant chairman, Brother L. Serrano Bay. I want to give honors to all the Moors on Zoom. I want to give honors to everybody that everyone else gave honors to. And I want to give honors to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, Islam. This week, inconstancy has been on my mind. You know, I actually had to look up the word because I used to think that a resolution meant not to resolve something. But when I looked up the word, the definition was uncertain on how to act or proceed. You know, you're not sure. You're doubting yourself. You know, the prophet said we have to have firmness of mind, you know, but this is our nature, because fearfully and wonderfully art we created, you know, but we got to get past that fear. We got to get past that doubt. You know, we got to sink or swim. We win, lose, or draw. We got to go through with our actions, you know, because if we do as our soul dictate, the end will always be right. And he who gave thee a soul armed thee with resolution. So the answer is to just be yourself. Go through with it. As long as you're acting in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the end is always going to be right. So tonight, I just wanted to take a read. Chapter 41, Holy Instructions from the Prophet and Constancy. Nature urges thee to inconstancy, O man. Therefore guard thyself at all times against it. Thou art from the womb of thy mother, various and wavering. From the loins of thy father inheriteth thou instability. How then shalt thou be firm? Those who gave thee a body furnished it with weakness, but he who gave thee a soul armed thee with resolution. Employ it, and thou art wise. Be wise, and thou art happy. Let him who doeth well beware of how he boasteth of it, for rarely is it in his own will. Is not the event of an impulse from without born of uncertainty, enforced by accident, depend on somewhat else. To thee and to the accident is due to praise. Beware of irresolution and the intent of thy actions. Beware of instability in the execution. So shalt thou triumph over two great failings of thy nature. What reproacheth reason more than to act contraries? What can suppress the tendencies to these but firmness of mind? The inconstant feeleth that he changed, but he knoweth not why. He seeth that he escapeth from himself, but he perceiveth not how. Be thou incapable of change, and in that which is right, and men will rely upon thee. Prophet says next, establish unto thyself principles of action, and see that thou ever act according to them. So shall the passions have no rule over thee. So shall thy constancy ensure unto thee the good thou possesseth, and drive from thy door misfortune. Anxiety and disappointment shall be strangers to thy gates. Suspect not evil in anyone until thou see it. And when thou see it, forget it not. Whoso hath been an enemy cannot be a friend, for man mendeth not his faults. That's that vanity. How should his actions be right, who have no rule in his life? Nothing can be just with proceedeth not from reason. The inconstant hath no peace in his soul, neither can be at ease whom he concerneth himself with. His life is unequal, his motions are irregular, his soul changes with the weather. Today he loveth thee, tomorrow thou art detested by him. And why? Himself knoweth not wherefore he now hateth. Today he is a tyrant, tomorrow thy servant is less humble. And why? He who is arrogant without power will be servile while there is no subjugation. Today he is profuse, tomorrow he grudges unto his mouth that which he should eat. Thus it is with him who knoweth not moderation. Who shall say to the chameleon he is black, when the moment after the verdure of the grass overspreadeth him? Who shall say to the inconstant he is joyful, when his next breath is spent in sighing? What is the life of such a man but the phantom of a dream? In the morning he riseth happy, at noon he is on the rack. This hour he is a god, the next below a worm. The moment he laugh, one moment he laugh, the next he weepeth. He now willeth, in an instant he willeth not, in another he knoweth not whether he willeth or not. Yet neither ease nor pain have fixed themselves on him. Neither is he waxed greater or become less. Neither have he had cause for laughter or reason for his sorrow. Therefore shall none of them abide with him. The happiness of the inconstant is as a palace built on the surface of the sand. The blowing of the wind carrieth away its foundation. What wonder then that it falleth? But what exalted form is this, that hitherward directs its uninterrupted course, whose foot is on earth, whose head is above the clouds? On his brow sitteth majesty, steadiness in his port, and in his heart reigneth tranquility. Through obstacles appear in his way, he deigneth not to look down upon them. Though heaven and earth oppose his passage, he proceedeth. The mountains sink beneath his tread. The waters of the oceans are dried up under the sole of his foot. The tiger throweth herself across his way in vain. The spots of the leopard glow against him unregarded. He marcheth through the embattled legions. With his hands he putteth aside the terrors of death. Storms roar against his shoulder, but are not able to shake them. The thunder bursteth over his head in vain. The lightning serveth but to show the glories of his countenance. His name is Resolution. He cometh from the utmost part of the earth. Seeth happiness afar off before him. His eyes discovereth her temple beyond the limits of the pole. He walketh up to it. He entereth boldly, and he remaineth there forever. Establish thy heart, O man, in that which is right, and then knoweth the greatest human is to be unmutable. With that, Moors, I'm going to say peace and love. Happy Holy Day. Praise Allah.
Great day now, great day from us, marching, great day now.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
Raleigh came to set us free.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
He come for you and he come for me.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
It's a great day now, great day. The Muslims marching, great day now.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
Juwal is the star today.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
Juwal is testing you and he testing me.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
It's a great day now, great day. The Muslims marching, great day.
Raleigh done build up the Muslim wall.
United we stand and divided we fall.
Raleigh gonna build up the Muslim wall.
Don't let that lower self make you fall.
Raleigh gonna build up the Muslim wall.
It's a great day now, great day. For Muslim marching, great day now.
Raleigh gonna build up the Muslim wall.
Islam.
Islam.
I can thank Brother R. Jordan Hill for reading from the divine instruction from the holy instruction from the prophet, a consciously. He tell us about ourselves. That's one thing the prophet can tell us about ourselves. And he also give you a solution, the resolution to it. You know, you got to go through it, whatever it is, you got to go through it. You know, I mean, and then you have to be firm. You walk through the battle legion. You put it, you know, no matter what it is, what come at you, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because if you identify that the lower surface is coming at you, then you have to deflect. You know, you got to get it away from you. You know, they get caught up in that energy and that force and that negative. You don't want to get caught up. I'd like to thank you for reading out for this comment. At this time, I'd like to call the next speaker, even before I bring it forth, please give me all divine attention. I'd like to call Brother El Sharon Chief Divine Minister after the song. We're marching.
We're marching into Mecca,
that
beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Now if you
Wanna know where we find that beautiful city of love?
into
The holy city, Moabites did find that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Is where the
Physical part of man was first formed, that beautiful city of love. At the east gate, the jamming with the flaming sword, that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Praise Allah.
True Ali, please take my hand, that beautiful city of love. Now the ancient name is Eden down in Canaan land, that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Islam?
Islam.
Islam Moses, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Praise Allah. First I rise and I give all praise to the great God Allah. I give honors to his holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Ali. I give honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I give honors to our past supreme grand advisors and moderators of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. I give honors to our former Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother Olive Ill, and to our present Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother R. Jones Bey, to his assistant. I give honors to all national, state, local officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I give honors to the Grand Governor of the state of New York, Brother D. Clark Ill, to his assistant, Brother A. Gaines Ill. I give honors to our Grand Sheikh, Moorish Science Temple number 34, Brother W. Clendenin Bay, and to his assistant, Sister C. Seals Ill. I give honors to our chairman, Brother C. Ferguson Ill, our secretary, Sister J. Jordan Ill, and her assistant, Brother I. Smith Bay. I give honors to our treasurer, Brother R. Jordan Ill, to his assistant, Brother K. Turner Bay. I give honors to all of our members, our sheiks, our guests, foreign sympathizers, and all seekers after truth. I'm going to turn your attention to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Ali, by the guiding of his father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God, Allah. And I just want to put emphasis that our prophet was divinely prepared. He was prepared in due time. His forerunner, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey, prepared the people to meet the prophet, just the same as John the Baptist did almost 2,000 years ago. We know that purity paves the way for love. John the Baptist said, "Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king." So my word is preparation. I want to turn your attention to chapter number 4 on page 8, Death and Burial of Elizabeth, Matheno's Lessons, the Ministry of Death. Instruction 1. When John was 12 years old, his mother died, and neighbors laid her body in a tomb among her kindred in the Hebron burying ground, and near Zacharias' tomb. And John was deeply grieved. He wept. Matheno said, "It is not well to weep because of death. Death is no enemy of man. It is a friend who, when the work of life is done, just cuts the cord that binds the human boat to earth, that it may sail on smoother seas. No language can describe a mother's worth, and yours was tried and true. But she was not called hence until her tasks were done. The cause of death are always for the best, for we are solving problems there as well as here. And one is sure to find himself where he can solve his problems best. It is selfishness that makes one wish to call again to earth departed souls. Then let your mother rest in peace. Just let her noble life be strength and inspiration unto you. A crisis in your life has come, and you must have a clear conception of the work that you are called to do. The sages of the ages call you harbinger. The prophets look to you and say, he is Elijah come again. Your mission here is that of a harbinger, for you will go before the Messiah's face to pave his way and make the people ready to receive their king. This readiness is purity of heart. None but the pure in heart can recognize the king. To teach men to be pure in heart, you must yourself be pure in heart and word and deed. In infancy, the vow for you was made, and you became a Nazarite. The razor shall not touch your face nor head, and you shall not taste wine or fiery drinks. Men need a pattern for their lives. They love to follow, not to lead. The man who stands upon the corners of the paths and points the way, but does not go, is just a pointer, and a block of wood can do the same. The teacher treads the way. On every span of ground, he leaves his footprints clearly cut, which all can see and be assured that he, their master, went that way. Men comprehend their inner life by what they see and do. They come to Allah through ceremonies and forms. And so when they would make men know that sins are washed away by purity and life, a right symbolic may be introduced. I had a lot of maintenance experience in my life. I've done a lot of housekeeping, different hospitals and different things of that nature. I've what they would consider a floor care specialist, right? And before we get an assignment or a job, no, when we get an assignment or a job, there are some things that you have to do to prepare the floor. And in comparison to men and the work that I do, you see a floor and it don't look too good. Some scuffs, some dirt, some scratches. If the person previously who did the floor didn't do a good job, it might be some things underneath the polish. And so the first thing that we have to do is prepare the floor. And in that preparation, we have to get our tools, the things that we're going to use, the machines, the scrapers, right? Pads, brushes, all of the things that is necessary to get this job done. And so after we get our tools, we have to strip the floor. You know, mix some chemicals together, some water, you throw it on the floor, you just push it around, get yourself a nice black pad, throw the black pad on the floor, put the side by side on the black pad, you put the machine to work using your tools, right? And so we have to take that layer off of the floor to prepare the floor in the same way that we as Moorish Americans use to purify ourselves so that we can do what? Purity pave the way for love. And so we ourselves are doing our best to become perfected man and becoming that in which the prophet gave us the example of being love made manifest. So we strip the coat off, right? The polished coat off of the floor, scrub the floor, we wash the floor, we throw some water on the floor, right? We pick it all up, and then we add our polish. This what you ever walked into a hospital, you see how shiny those floors are? They make you feel like you're in an established place, like you're in a clean place, because we know that cleanliness, right, is godliness. And so when we look at the world or we look at whatever environment we in, there's a direct relation between mental health and hygiene. So if you're a plumber, you do floors, you do masonry, lay the brick down, whatever it is that you find yourself doing, it's a preparation for it. There's a pattern that you have to go through to get the job done efficiently, right? Those who were here before us, somehow they perfected these methods, then they're given to us. And we might tweak some things a little bit for what is most beneficial, what we think is most beneficial for us, right? So, and water wash the bodies of the people who would turn away from sin and strive for purity and life. And so after you add that wax onto the floor, you have what they refer to as a buff machine. The buff machine is what gives that wax a nice shine, right? A nice polished coat. But we're told that masters never screen themselves for reputation or fame. So the prophet, when he talks about buffeting, woes of many kind, buffeting, if you look up, if you research the definition of buffeting, it means to attack violently. To attack violently. And that's what we use, right? So the pad is buffing the floor so that you could get that nice shine out of the floor. And so in relation to us, as far as our lower self, the prophet teaches us the lower self, it has its place, right? When we came to the manifest, then chapter 1, right? And these soul attributes became a body beautiful, a multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned upon the boundaries of the plane of soul. The ether began to vibrate slower still, and then the essence took on a final God. Final God. And so we have to look at the things in our own lives. We have to use the tools, the tools of the workshop of the mind, right? Go into the land of fleshless things. Use these tools, use the hammer, use the chisel, use all of the things that the prophet gave us that we can actually see these tools and have an idea of how we use them in our mind to make ourselves better Muslims. I want to thank the chairman for calling on me. I wish you all a happy holy day. May Allah be pleased with you all. Peace.
You can't hide.
The prophet is calling.
You can't hide.
Prophet is calling.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
The truth done come.
You can't hide.
The truth done come.
You can't hide.
Oh, truth done come.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
Come out of the corner.
You can't hide.
Come out of the corner.
You can't hide.
Come out of the corner.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
Turn your light down low.
You can't hide.
Turn your light down low.
You can't hide.
Turn your lights down low.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
It's judgment day.
You can't hide.
It's judgment day.
You can't hide.
Oh, it's judgment day.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
You can run through the rocks.
You can't hide.
You can run through the rocks.
You can't hide.
Oh, the rocks cried out.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
The prophet's calling.
You can't hide.
The prophet's calling.
You can't hide.
Oh, the prophet's calling.
You can't hide. You can't hide nonsense. You can't hide.
Islam.
Islam.
I thank Brother Elser on the base of we've been the divine and of the Holy Prophet, chapter 4, death and burial of Elizabeth, the kingdom lesson that meant to ministry of death, instruction 1 to instruction 19, and also went to the creation and fall of man. I'd like to thank you for his reading and also for his comment. At this time, I'd like to call the next speaker evening before I bring her forward. Please give her your my attention. I'd like to call our Assistant Grand Teacher, September number 34, Mr. C. Sealville. After the song. Watch ye therefore we know not the hour when our Lord shall come and call for thee. Just keep your lamp on, full and burning bright, and he shall wear a golden crown. I shall wear a beautiful shining crown, Muslim way. The trumpet, when the trumpet sound, I shall wear a beautiful shining crown, and I shall wear a golden crown. Be not like the foolish virgin, when Allah shall come and call for thee. Just keep your lamp on, full and burning bright, and you shall wear a golden crown. I shall wear a beautiful shining crown, Muslim when the trumpet sound, I
Islam,
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 Islam.
Islam.
Happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
Allah. So now we know why we say happy holy day, right? Because Friday is the day in which man was formed in flesh, right? And Friday is the day in which man departed out of flesh. But Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Muslims are unified, at least on Fridays.
Islam.
No, praise Allah. Because we may be functioning, right? When we understand the days of the week, we understand the different clocks and the different systems, and you understand Eastern time, Central time, but Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the vibration that exists on a Friday, just say praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
I rise and I give praise to Allah. I give honors to our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and time. Prophet that was able to bring Islam here in America, teach you about your nationality, your birthright, by incorporating within the government in which we live now. Pull people from a time where slavery, I'm sure, had a very heavy effect visually, physically. It was more tangible in that time frame of the prophet being around. Those laws that were put in place, those things were very much in the forefront of the people's time of the 20s. There was a lot of things going on during that period in time. A lot of things, industry-wise. But you had a spiritually, divinely prepared prophet coming to give you a message at a time of a boom within our nation. I give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Because I can't guarantee that without these instructions that I've actually taken any time to truly work on myself. As long as you can make it, you know, you get a couple of interactions, communicate well enough, get work done, you can play the role at the job, good enough. I got a promotion. I didn't think it was a problem. Wait, you said that, hold on, wait. You said at all times guard yourselves, Noble Drew Ali? Is that what you said, Prophet? He said at all times. He said I'm supposed to have a workshop. Made a thought. Wait a minute, I haven't heard that anywhere before. I've heard of a lot of things, thinking. I heard of a lot of things related to character. I've heard of a lot of things, but that workshop puts a different imagery in the mind. As I sit and I think to myself, just even looking at the things that were brought before that, right? We talk about the forerunner who paved the way. Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. What did it take for Brother Marcus Garvey to unite the people? I'm sure he was dealing with women and children. I'm sure he was dealing with brothers. And when you think about the concept of dealing with children, there's so many things, right? As I watch my own daughter, I come to temple, getting ready, it's time to get dressed, time to get up, time to handle things. Think about what it takes to move a nation full of people who have their thoughts, their ideas, their burdens, their stresses, and you can't just pick them up and carry them. You can't just strap them in a stroller and go, you're on timeout for the next 5 to 10 minutes. You can't do that. So when you're thinking about that concept of what it takes to actually uplift the people, it's going to take work. Good luck trying to fit a 6-foot grown man, maybe 200 pounds, in a stroller to tell him to sit down so that he can listen to what you're saying. Good luck, right? I say luck loosely because we know we don't go on luck. Right. Concept of what understanding of luck is preparation, meeting the right time. That concept. But when I think about even just the forerunners, right? You have Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. Hadn't had a chance to physically meet either. But I know that they had to be working diligently. Why? Because there's still enough remnants of their time frame left behind. There's families extended from these particular messages that they've left. Not even just their own relatives, but people that they've touched during their time of being here, during the time of the prophet. And to that, I give honors. The preservation. I give honors to Brother R. Loveville, who I did have a chance to meet. What do I hear? What do I see when I look at the Moorish Science Temple of America? That generations are important. Families, nations, preserving bonds. That's important. We have lost so much by straying after the gods of Europe of whom we knew nothing. This is what the instructions teach. Now, when you go into history, depending on where you're looking at in history, you're going to find all kinds of stories. All kinds of different things that relate to what happened to us, who we are, who we're not, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. But with the prophet, there's no confusion, right? Because he left his footprints cleanly cut. So now we're supposed to do as our soul dictates. Now, do you even know what part of you is the soul? When we talk about that spirit, right? When we talk about truth and falsehood, right? What are we really relating to? Are we recognizing that it's like one line and you got the truth and the falsehood? Because what is truth? What is truth? Truth is all, and all is the law. And so that's a constant. But now falsehood is truth reversed. And so it's manifested as falsehood. So whenever you have the truth and it's not utilized in the light in which it's supposed to be utilized, you're going to have falsehood manifest. And that's for everyone. Falsehood will be manifest. We are creators and we make our own, whether it's our conditions that exist around us, whether or not it's our mental condition. We have work to do. I was on the call, on the Thursday call, and honors, I just want to take the time to give honors to all those more and working. What do I mean by working? Taking the time to study yourself, taking the time to try to just better yourself, even if no one else sees the strides that you're making. Just know to be happy.
The public is unstable and ungrateful. Inside of the Moorish literature, there are lots of works of communication, right? Lots of things related to our people, lots of things related to humanity, growth, development, unfoldment. The voice of the prophet is something that I want to kind of go to. And I want to give honor, we got Uncle Brother Cyrus still in the back, snatched up Michaela, so so that she can keep it calm. And for those that don't know, Michaela, Sister M. Serrano Bay, right? and all the Moors take their time and their turns with making sure everything happens. And before I go into this particular part, just honor the Brother I. Smithfield, making sure that he was here, making sure that he was able to set up the meeting, making sure that all was able to operate and function. And as I'm sitting here, I'm looking through the Zoom as the brother set it up, watching them maneuver the charter. I'm sitting there like, praise Allah. I'm sitting there, inside of my mind, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is what it's about, right? That preparation phase, right? Everyone has to be able to strictly preserve these laws, all members. All. Now, are you able to support and joy? Are you able to support and love? Are you able to make it? Because I'm sure there's some that want to be able to make it right now today and probably can't. I give honor to the members. I give honor to the brothers that's coming out and making their meetings. I give honor to those that's on the Zoom and coming out and making their meetings also. It's a Friday night. And if we know anything about our people, we know you can find a way to have some fun and folly. Now that's Monday through Sunday, that's any day of the week. But the voice of the prophet found inside of our Moorish literature on page number 8. I was thinking about all these different things, right? And the prophet, when he said Islam is a simple faith, I was thinking about it, there's all these things I've heard over the course of the years, what you need to be able to be a Moorish American, what you need to be able to do this. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, doesn't sound very accurate based on what the prophet said. I have nothing against you. And maybe this is what your spirit, your soul has told you. Or maybe this is where you are right now. Man's God today, tomorrow not God. Maybe that's where I am today. Man's God today, tomorrow's not God. But if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Side Temple of America. Hold on. It's very simple. I didn't think that an invite was going to be that easy. You know what I mean? You're getting ready to come to a baby shower. There's usually a registry. There's the type of thing you got to fill out. The prophet said, if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Side Temple of America. So I'm sitting here like, wow. Do we indirectly burden people with our feelings and our thoughts because we've been able to grow and see past a certain point? Because it starts with race pride and loving your race, because he understands what it is unity, there's strength.
That's right. Islam.
It takes race pride.
Islam.
Now this is where it gets funny and it gets tricky, right? Because you got people out there calling themselves races that we don't attach to. So what pride do you have for which race? What is going on? That's what they got to look, because first time looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is boom, easy. I'm like, what's our race, Moors? How many even know that? And when they find out, do they have a reason to be proud? Do they take the time to truly be able to process that? It's like going to a job. You could have just came from a certain background and situation. Now you come into a job, you sign an application, you have to be this person that's on this piece of paper so that you get paid for this period of time that you're there. Form of cognitive dissonance, because who you are inside versus who they're asking you to be, you have to kind of fight that in order to be able to do what you need to do to survive throughout the day. So now,
That ain't easy.
now you're going through a struggle. Guess what? I've seen so many do it. I'm like, wow, I was pretty sure he was going to snap on the supervisor. Didn't do it. I hope the supervisor's not waiting after work, but they didn't do it. And what does that show me? That shows me the will. But there has to be a focus point. And at that particular focus point, it's the finance and what's seen as stability. So what does it mean? Lose control of yourself. You didn't find a high enough focus point for that to be your priority. And I say my brother, and I don't want to be separate. My sister woman too. You didn't find a focus point to keep you at a certain point. Children, you didn't find a focus point either, because you know when you're prepared for, let's just say, holidays like your birthday, right? You might be on the best behavior. You know, new game system's about to come out. You might be on your best behavior. So that shows that there's an ability to control oneself no matter what age and stage you're at. It's just the ability to place that focus point.
Wow.
I'm just gonna just take one more section out of this, the voice of the prophet, right? I say one more section, let me just praise Allah. It says, if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Specifies which divine movement. It says this divine movement. Now, this is not a separating thought, right? As in, we're just talking about the concept of our prophet, noble duality. Then you will have power, power to redeem your race, because you will know who you are. So one of the prerequisites to redeeming your race is knowing yourself. Know thyself. And the lower self. How can you know the illusions of the world? How can you navigate? How can you maintain a state and government and not know yourself? Not know your triggers? I know there's the statement that for every level is a different devil concept. Don't think you're looking at people and know what they're going through in life or know who they are or know what's going on, because there's different stages and everybody's development and growth. And it's going to look very different for each person. Know that your drama, your trauma, and everything that you've had throughout your course of life, you bring with you everywhere you go. And it shapes your perception on other people. If you have hate, if you've been around hate and have to control your environment and keep yourself safe, newsflash, you're going to do that when you interact in any environment that you go to. Whether you do it externally, mentally, or physically, it's going to show. And so when our prophet's telling us to have the ability to redeem our race, that redemption, we're not seeking salvation from a god, an evil, a myth that we're afraid of from the netherworlds. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. That's right.
There's nothing out here behind us trying to get, there's no boogeyman. The understanding of developing your character so that you can truly maneuver anywhere. When you are sound of mind and character, it reflects when you maneuver. Just like you get on the subway. You're like, oh, so it may not be a little off. What is it that, other than their clothes, to you that gives you a sign of something being a little off, right? So for people who are even more disciplined, there are things that they're able to look at even at you and within you that tells them that, you know, oh, you're a little off. Now, you may not be as off as a person who may need immediate medical assistance, but there's still that portion of us that needs to become in tune where we can truly put our hand in Allah's hand and all as well. Because a lot of us are paying, you know, that game. You know, he catch my hand, catch your hand. You try to catch him. You back and forth, and you're just about to put your hand in Allah's hand, all as well. You're like, wait, what you say? And it's normal. It's normal to deal, and it's normal to interact in that way. Because we're learning to love instead of hate.
Right.
So that means that everyone, by standard of what our prophet has expressed and how I've interpreted it, is a hater in one way, fashion, or form. And we got to learn to love. Now, the reasons why we hate are all different. Some come from guarding oneself. Some come from personal life traumas and histories. Some comes from transgressions they've actually seen. Backgrounds, past, communication, listening to slander from others, all kinds of things and ways and reasons that bring us to this point. But the only way we can truly unite more is we got to be able to listen to one another. Without our passions. To hear without your passions is challenging because you're always guarding yourself as a prophet instructed. But how do you guard yourself with love? How do you guard yourself with just purity? How do you do that? When man is a truth and false is strangely mixed. It's a lot of work, and it starts in that workshop of the mind. I definitely appreciate the chairman giving me an opportunity to speak. I know I read out of the Moorish literature, but I'm gonna also read from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm gonna turn your attention to chapter 36. It's in my mind, but not on my fingertips. Page 44. I just want to take the moment also to extend another happy birthday to Brother T. Adams Bay. The Divine Instruction, chapter number 36, the holy instructions from the prophet, know thyself. I'm going to go right to instruction number 4. This is page 44. I'm going to go to instruction 4. Wherefore is consciousness reposed on thee alone? And whence is it derived to thee? That's a humbling statement. You are not the only one with common sense, with a thought, with an understanding. You're not the only one. It's not how it goes, right? And it is not in flesh to think. It is not in bones to reason. The lion knoweth not that worms shall eat him. The ox perceiveth not that he is fed for slaughter. Something is added to thee, unlike to what thou seest. Something informs thy clay higher than all is the subject of thy senses. Behold, what is it? And I think that's a very, very, very important part when it talks about knowing yourself. And it speaks about being able to study yourself. That question, what is it that informs your clay? Is it your body at that point? Are you allowing your energies, your essences, the vibrations of things around you? Are you actually in tune, focusing and working hard, speedy reparations? It's a challenge. And I challenge myself with that test. Being able to make speedy reparations, being able to forgive, because I can truly say that in people, everybody wants to strive to succeed and successful differently for every person. But I can truly say that those are my brothers and sisters that I've come to know. I feel that each of you want happiness. I feel that each of you strive for peace. And we may not all travel by the A train, the airplane, but we're all on a path. And I just hope that we can put that focus in front of us, the path that we're on, that destination, the goal. Don't get lost in the decorations on the sides of the wall, but focus at that light at the end of that proverbial tunnel. I'd just like to thank again our chairman for calling on me. I'd like to thank all the ones who were able to make it online. I'd like to thank all the ones who made it to travel. Give honors to our grand chief, brother W. Clinton Bay, because I know it was his daughter's birthday. He's traveling. He wasn't able to make it in person, but I know he's going to be available with us also on the Zoom. And again, happy Holy Day, Moors.
Happy holy day.
Hold the blood, hold the blood, hold the blood, hold the blood.
Hold the blood down sign my name. Hold the blood, hold the blood, hold the blood down sign my name. Hold the blood, hold the blood, hold the blood down sign my name. Hold the blood down sign my name.
Islam.
Islam.
Sister Akikis, Sister Sincere there for reading from the Moorish literature, the voice of the prophet. And then she went to the divine instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 30, the Holy instruction on the prophet, know thyself. Instruction 4, instruction 7. Praise God, I'd like to thank you for the reading and also for the comment. At this time, I'd like to call the last speaker evening before I bring you forward. Please give me undivided attention. I'd like to call a grand sheet of TEMPLE34 by the double condemning bay. You Ali told me, and he showed me, oh, the blood done signed my name. You Ali told me, and he showed me, oh, the blood done signed my name. You Ali told me, and he showed me, oh, the blood done signed my name. Oh, the blood done signed my name. I got my witness, I got my witness, oh, the blood done signed my name. I got my witness, I got my witness, oh, the blood done signed my name. I got my witness, I got my witness, oh, the blood done signed my name. Oh, the blood done signed my name.
Islam, Moorish American.
Islam.
I give praise to the great God Allah, Father of the universe, the author and the creator and the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. I give honor to the illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, who brought us out of darkness into the marvelous light of the truth. I give honor to everything the chairman gave honor to, gave honor to everything that assistant, secretary, acting chairman gave honor to. I give honor to all the Moors. I give honor to everything that honor is due. Islam?
Islam.
Praise Allah. I really enjoyed the meeting, enjoying the vibration. And I was just thinking about obedience. And, you know, when I first got married back in 1980s, it was a part of a lot of women where they took obedience out of the marriage vows. And being that I was 24 years old, I was like, well, I was going to make a big thing about it. I mean, the sister was like, yo, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put respect or something. I'm like, oh, okay. So then about a year later, we joined in the temple and was sitting in there hearing the divine constitution for the first time. And talks to us as wife, you must obey your husband. And I just turned and looked at her and she like, oh no. And I remember Sister Curtis Bay and Sister Weber Bay, my two sisters, like having this big conversation. And my ex-wife, you know, former wife, she was like, I don't have to obey a man. I went to college just like he went to college. I'm a person, human being, just like he's a human being. I have to obey him. And they had this whole conversation about obeying Allah and you know, the whole conversation. She finally said, okay, and she was willing to join the temple and read the laws, hear the laws and everything. And as life went on, I remember I was a grand sheik, a young grand sheik, and I was having this conversation with myself one day about obedience. You know, the wife needs to obey me. I'm her husband. I had children then. You know, my children need to obey me. I'm the father. And the sheiks, I'm the grand sheik. They're supposed to obey me, right? And then the voice started laughing. They started laughing at me. My own self was laughing at me. He said, Walt, you're pretty funny. You don't even obey yourself, bro. Like, be for real. You all this person should obey this person. Why don't you start with obeying yourself, obeying Allah? All the things that you learned in the temple, so you must do this, and you must do this, and you must. Why don't you focus on that? Don't be focusing on whether another person is obeying or not. And it made me think, you know, the prophet uses the word obedience. talks about obedience to law. You know what I'm saying? That obedience to his law is happiness to yourself. And so I wanted to read from this holy Quran, the divine instructions from the holy prophet, a chapter that helped me understand the whole concept of obedience. You know, there's a part in the chapter on marriage instructions, and it talks about a woman and obedience and the lessons of her life. Now, you know, Sister Sealsdale was talking about that whole perception thing. Now, I can only speak for this brother, but when I hear the chapter read, I'm looking at, yeah, that's right. You're supposed to learn that in your life. That's why you're supposed to obey your husband. You're supposed to learn obedience. But I should really be thinking about myself. These lessons are for everybody. It's not for us to look at it this way or that way. If you're not an obedient person, you're just not an obedient person. You might as well be real with yourself. Like Sister Sealsdale said, just go in the workshop of the mind and pull up your board of being obedient. At your job, to your parents, in society. What's your record? You don't have to tell them, just in between you and Allah. You know, if you obey people, obey Allah, obey situations, obey law, you know, or you're a person that's disobedient. If you're in the military, you could be brought up on charges of disobeying an order. The obedience of children towards their father. From the secrets of Allah, let man learn wisdom and apply to himself the instructions they give. And that's what I try to start doing to myself. And every time I find myself in a situation where I feel like obedience is not being, I'm not being obeyed. If I'm at the job, I'm the foreman, or a situation, I always remember that moment and I laugh to myself. I say, Walt, just take it easy, bro. Why don't you just keep on focusing on being obedience to Allah, obedience to your own self, in your own workshop, or your own mind, where you set up your own principles of how you're going to be. Obey yourself. Be an example of a person that's obedient. And obedience means doing things that sometimes you do not want to do. Go clean your room. You're 15 years old. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to go obey my father and my mother. But why? What is the lesson to be learned in obedience? Because you can't get to the highest plane of spirit life. Isn't this the destination? You can't get there without obedience. You can't. Go to the desert, my son. Observe the young stalk of the wilderness. Let him speak to thy heart. He beareth on his wings his aged sire. He lodgeth him in safety and supplieth him with food. The piety of a child is sweeter than the incense of Persia, offering to the sun, ye more delicious than odors wafted from a field of Arabian spices, of the western gale. Be grateful to thy father, for he gave thee life. It starts right there with Allah. It starts with the concept of Adam and Eve. It starts with the concept that he's given us the power to choose for ourselves, to be obedient or disobedient. It's our choice. And the glory of Allah is when you choose to be obedient, that you choose not to follow your will, but to be in tune with the deific will. So many times we have come up with thoughts as men and human beings to justify our disobedience, to make you feel good. You'll sing a song. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Because being right means being without you, and I'd rather been wrong than right. I did it my way. You do your thing, and I do my thing. See, these are all ways to justify why you do whatever you want. But the glory of Allah is that He gives you the choice, and when you choose not to do what Allah wants you to do, all the law governs all events. He says don't eat. He says don't eat from that tree. Well, I'm gonna eat because I want to know. Law governs all events, bro. Law governs all events. Do as you please, Moors. Do as you please. But what I learned? To be grateful to thy Father, Allah. Starts right there. For He gave thee life. Think about it, how deep that is. The whole fact that you can even listen and hear and think and everything that I'm talking about, existence that you even comprehend, the Father gave it to you. And how dare you be disobedient? Can you imagine? That's just like a parent when they just bring forth their child, all the mothers and fathers and all. Can you imagine when that child, you changed their diaper, you fed them, you sacrificed day and night for them, and there comes that moment when they stand in your face in disobedience. And as a parent, you are so shocked. You are so overwhelmed. You're so hurt that this baby that you cared for, that you held in your hands, that you fed and you nurtured, has the audacity, absurdity to stand in disobedience against you. Well, that's how Allah feels. Look at this world. This world we live in was our choice. We chose to have homeless people. We've chosen to have wars. We've chosen to disrespect each other. We've chosen to violate our daughters and our mothers and our queens. We've chosen to kill each other and attack each other. And all these things we have chosen. And now you come into the Moorish Science Temple Myrrh. He has found you. The state where the prophet, I found you. He saved you. He's brought you out of these cares, out of these conditions, and raised you up and given you the light to understand what we must do. Thank you so much for being on the path with me, that we might share our journey together of trying to uplift ourselves and thus be part of the solution to this world and not part of the problem. Peace.
Peace.
Allah gonna set this world on fire. Well, now, Allah gonna set this world on fire. Some of these days, praise Allah. Allah gonna set this world on fire. Well, now, Allah gonna set this world on fire. Some of these days, you are gonna wish that you hadn't been faithful. Well, now, you were gonna wish that you had been faithful some of these days. Praise Allah. You are gonna wish that you had been faithful. Well, now you are gonna wish that you had been faithful some of these days. You are gonna wish for the more signs temple. Well, now you are gonna wish for the more signs temple some of these days. Praise Allah. You are gonna wish for the more signs temple. Well, now you are gonna wish for the more signs temple some of these days. You are gonna wish for noble Drew Ali. Well, now you are gonna wish for noble Drew Ali some of these days. Praise Allah. You are gonna wish for noble Drew Ali. Well, now you are gonna wish for noble Drew Ali some of these days. Islam.
Islam.
I'd like to thank our grand chief, Brother W. Condemned Gray, for reading from the divine expression from the Holy Prophet, chapter 24, the obedience of children towards the fathers. Instruction 1 to instruction 4. Praise the Lord. I'd like to thank you for his presentation and reminding us of our duty to each other and working to each other and be on the path together. So praise the Lord for allowing us to be on that path. At this time, I read the warning. Divine warning by the prophet, never do our lead. Prophet warns our Muslim governors order the reproclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, on the street. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans and causing confusion. Remember your call is for your salvation. They that obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We have a love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member, a group of members, who holds malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet will violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, who receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid unto them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turbans and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali. And the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple. There's an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah, redeeming people from their sinful ways by order of prophet Noble Ali. Peace. Well, come on, Mr.
No.
Come on. Now that's it.
This one? This one?
Yeah, pick up, yeah, go. Yeah.
The agreement was you had to be well behaved. And I think
Yeah, you always
today
gotta be
we're
well
doing
behaved.
A lot of movement.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on it. Today, you know, the chairman allowed you to collect the finance.
Thanks, brother. Praise Allah, now to the prophet.
You need to stand over people like this. The prophet said, don't burden his boy, sister. That is not how this works. Brother Chairman, can you get the sister? She asked for additional finance on the side.
Finish up, Mark.
Usually.
Well, that might you up.
Thank you, sis, for 2 hours of work minutes. This is for the give it a hand.
Okay. We have a hand from Brother Jay Coleman.
It's long, brother. Wait, let me get our sister,
Oh, Sister Jay Jordan now.
Sister J. Jordan, want to read make the announcement?
It's
It's long, sister.
first I rise giving praise to Allah. I give honor to our holy prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and to everything that our acting chairman gave honors to at the opening of the meeting. I wanted to just make one announcement in the interest of time, and remind the Moors that Temple 21 is currently doing a fundraiser. It doesn't it's only open for 4 days. I understand it starts today. It is it's a fundraiser it's an emergency fundraiser to repair the temple's roof. As you know, their temple was chartered in 1933, and they want to continue to keep the building doors open so that they can continue to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And so if you'd like to make a donation or make purchases, you can check out their fundraiser. They're doing it through a popcorn purchase, and it's a double good campaign. And it's a pop-up, I think there are 4 or 5 of them in the temple that are doing pop-up stores, so you can make a purchase to support, or you could send a cash app to Temple 21 as well. They have, I think, several different types of popcorn that you can purchase, and including butter popcorn, white cheddar, caramel, and there's something called in queso fire. Or you can make it just a $20 donation. That can go to essential workers. 20% of that, 50% goes to the benefits of the fundraiser. So if you'd like to participate, we really encourage everyone to do so. I believe it does not last long. It is just for 4 days. Again, you could always make a cash donation instead if you're not interested in purchasing the popcorn. And so with that, I just wanted to make sure that if you can, Moors, to participate, purchase some popcorn in support, or you can always just give a donation to Temple 21 in lieu of purchasing popcorn to help them with this endeavor. So with that, I'm gonna just make the basic announcements for times. Our Friday night meetings start at 7:30 and end about 10. And then on Sunday, our Sunday school starts at 2 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. We also have our Thursday calls, our conference calls, and those are a great opportunity to just kind of talk with the Moors about different topics. And Sundays would probably be our best bet for bringing any questions or concerns that you wanted to have addressed in person. Otherwise, you can do so over the phone on Thursday. You can send an email to mstasecretary34@gmail.com if you want to have any announcements posted or any other announcements shared. If you want to send your Islams, or if you want to announce a birth or passing, or anything else that you'd like us to announce during this time, please send it to mstasecretary34@gmail.com. With that, I'll say peace. Islam, I think you're muted.
Islam, sorry about that. Islam. The chairman called him Brother Coleman.
Yes, Coleman here.
Islam boys.
Islam.
Happy holy day. Happy holy day.
Happy holy day.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Praise
Allah. I am so, it's just an honor just to be a member of the Moorish Science of America and Hades and just to feel the vibration. I'm home right now, but I felt the vibration from home, like the vibration from the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple 34. 3 and 4 is 7. Praise Allah. First, I want to rise, give praise to Allah and honors to the Prophet, Noble Jew Ali. I want to give honors to everything the Moors gave honors to tonight. Tonight was a beautiful and marvelous night. Praise Allah. You are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relations that bonded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother's in adversity, a sister. If thy sister's in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of thy father be contributed to the support of his whole race, and his cares be continued to you all with your love to each other. Praise Allah. The grand, he touched me tonight. He said, when you got a baby, right? And you raise the baby when it's little, you feed him, you sacrifice for the baby till it would get older, and then it disobeys you. That's the same thing you do to Allah. Allah. That's why we failed in the first place, because we didn't honor our forefathers. Praise Allah for the prophet who came here to save us. He said he brought everything it takes to save a nation. He said, take it and save yourself. Praise Allah. Peace and love to the honest to Brother Ferguson there. Honest to you more. You still standing strong. Praise Allah. Honest to the sister Grant Zilzil. Honest to all the Moors. Peace and love, Moors.
Honor to you. Praise
Salam. Oh yeah. He actually
you.
yeah, knocked
Praise Allah.
He was running around all day, so he finally got his rest. I just fixed him a bottle. Now he about to, take it down and everything. Daddy got to make his meeting. But praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Brother Smithfield, good job today, Mo. Salute.
Islam, thank you, brother. Coming out. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
We got a hand for Brother Serrano, babe.
Islam, Brother Serrano Bay.
You muted back. There you go.
Islam,
Islam.
praise Allah. I just wanted to say, the Assistant Grand Governor of the state of Maryland, Brother Jay Gibbsdale, sends his Islams, his family. He wish you all a happy holy day. Peace and love.
Hey.
Islam.
Islam, Grand Sheikh. Brother never get any better.
Yeah. Praise Allah. Also, the Grand National Chairman, Brother Pete Chase Hill, Grand Sheikh Temple 71 sends Islam to the Moors. And also, Brother Belsa Bay from Temple 78.
Thank you, Mo. Praise Allah. Safe travel, Grand Sheikh. Yeah, the emergency fund is 25 to 50 cents. So you can do the it's like double. 25 to 50 cents. Wow. Islam system of peace. You acting right? You act right?
Did you tell me what you told the chairman? You told me Brother Mufti showed you? He said after you banged the gavel 3 times, what happened? What does he say? You said he said something. What does he say?
Oh,
What does he say when he bangs the gavel? You were telling me.
all right.
Yes. That's right. Train your elders. Praise Allah. Thank you, Sister Anderson around the bay.
Praise Allah. Well, thank you, brother Chairman, because that's what she said you showed.
Did we hear from Brother? Did you hear from Brother around the bay? It's on, Brother around the bay? Oh, we did. All right. Thank you. Give the Secretary and the Treasurer and the Assistant Treasurer time to take care of the finance. Sunday is, we're gonna be still in chapter 3, so be prepared to deal with that chapter.
I know we'll be having you for Sunday too.
Yeah.
You'll get a little treat.
Yeah,
Treat.
yeah, we're gonna call on you. Sunday school, we're gonna call on you. Answer some questions.
Did you hear that?
Answer questions on Sunday, okay?
You hear that? All right.
Don't forget, we be celebrating the prophet birthday at Temple 21. They're doing their fundraiser, so you're able to donate something, donate. That's it, you gotta go in there.
The Psalms ran away. The Psalm. The Psalm.
Did you hear the assistant treasurer speaking to you?
Yes.
Secretary?
There's a lot.
You know what he was telling you? He was telling you that you are not authorized to go back there. Understand?
Yeah.
All right.
After the meet, then you go, then you cover the chair, right? After the meet.
All right. So let's take a seat. All right, brother Chicken cleared it up for you. He said you can go back there only when the meeting's over to cover the chair.
That's just exit the Muslim. I can thank all the officers for their wonderful job of working together to try to do their job. Praise Allah.
One second. I'm good. Yes.
If you
That
want to
was
say
the Chinese.
it, I
Okay, Steve. So,
You wanna know when the meeting is, you gotta learn the process. So you gotta be quiet. Look, you wanna knock the cameras over? It's gonna come on
Yo,
So good, so good.
Ferguson, man.
Hey.
Yo. Speaks in the road, boy. Oh man. Oh man, that's where that other fuck. I'm like, where that come from?
Praise God.
Yeah, man.
Right.
All right, hold up. Yeah. Wow. More than that, dude. That's where you go. Yeah. Right, definitely. And that was 25 plus the 5. Yo, you out, man.
You're on top of it, man.
Oh man.
You're on top of it.
Hold on. Let me see.
I was laughing at this thing, you have to be dancing.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. Now you said that's 25. That's 20.
Islam.
Islam?
You know you gotta guess. You recognize the guest on the Zoom.
What's recognize the guest? Who's the guest? Hold up.
Tito.
You know,
Could you add the
What's his
5
name?
to our city? Or the 5 to the.
No, that's one.
So.
But I have.
Tito.
Right.
The 5 is in the
What's
trap.
that?
I made it 30.
Camera shot.
Yeah.
So, right. So the 5 is in the trap.
No, but it was a local, it was a trap.
Yeah, the 5. The
So
5
this
is.
was and it was right and over here.
Oh, so it's 11:50.
Oh. 2, 4, 6. Ninety. 95.
So this is.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There's one.
Yeah, we both tripping. All right.
So.
How many of
So that was right the first
We
time.
have.
How many we had?
We had 11,
That's right.
11, 10. Total of 19. And then 10 others.
I was right the first time.
So,
And that was the first. That's when I didn't count the 5 that was in his dues still. And that's why I was like, what is missing somewhere? Jump out.
We had 9 here. We had 9.
It's counting, because I don't take away the 2 from the room. Well, I would take away myself, because I'm on then. Simple.
So this just has to be changed to 11.
Right, so you got there now, so we go by the 5 numbers.
What did I count?
I still take away 2.
Yeah.
These are
Did I count it?
Yep.
2, 4, 6, 8.
for my amount of.
Yeah, that's 95. You know what I'm saying?
Praise the Lord.
I was right on.
See?
Yo, I'm
I was
bugging
trying to
out.
make sure. That's why we're here.
Because the 5, why I changed it on the other one? Because of the 5. It's like, yo, we gotta be missing. Let me.
Don't worry about it. I'm just count something in the middle of the millions and dollars.
You know what I'm saying?
No, count that 3, 4 times. That's gonna take like.
You get the machine, you put it in.
No, I don't even trust the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still.
I don't trust the machine, Mo.
It's all up, yeah.
What they do? Don't they count it by hand in the bank?
Yeah.
Y'all said. Temple?
Yeah, you ready?
I got it right.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Islam,
It's on.
you pay attention to our assistant secretary.
Islam, I'm sorry, I want to make a comment. You know, or African.
You pay attention to our assistant secretary. As we read today's financial report,
Islam?
Islam,
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. More Science Temple of America, Temple number 34, financial received for December the 8th, 2023. Received $65 in monthly dues, $4.50 public collection, $2 for literature and supplies, $3.50 for uplifting funds, $8.50 for travel funds, $11.50 for local building funds, coming to a grand total of $95 and a total attendance of 19. Peace.
Islam.
Islam.
You heard the reading of the financial report. What's the will and pleasure of the board?
Islam, I move that the financial report be accepted with the necessary direction of their being.
Can I get a second?
Islam.
That's okay.
Islam, my second.
It was moved by Sister C. O'Leary, second of Brother K. Turner Bay, that the financial report be accepted with necessary correction as we be on. You heard the motion, are you ready for the question?
Question.
All in favor of this motion, show by motion, please. Praise the Lord. Secretary, note that the motion has been carried.
Carry.
Brother K. Turner Bay, you have it.
Praise the Lord.
Islam. I wonder, brother Lord Ill says his Islam
Yeah.
to the Moors. And also I got a invitation to the United Nations. They got a civic town hall.
Mhm.
I think on the 11th. I left the link in the chat.
Yeah.
So if anybody wanted to attend, they go in there, go as a guest. I don't know if they have the same protocol I gotta do, but probably to get different badges they gotta give out to get clearance to go in there.
Yes.
So I left the link up there if the movies want to go.
Represent the more.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Praise the Lord. Civic engagement. Praise the Lord.
And that's what it is. Civic
Yeah.
town hall.
Yeah, praise the Lord. Every place in the favor, man. You know how it is. I'd like to thank everyone for the contribution physically, spiritually, and financially. The prayer law continue to guide us. Our prayer law continue to protect us. The prayer law continue to shield us against all negative force seen and unseen. And don't forget you all pray and put a thought out there to heal the world. Because the world's awry.
That's right.
You know, cruelty that make the world awry. It teaches us, so we know it's cruelty. Like when they was talking about the wars and saying people starving, people on the streets. Praise our Lord. Yeah, anything that anything else?
Oh, that's my favorite all as well. I just want to again give honors to our brother I. Smithfield for being able to make it here, opening up the meeting for us on time. But I hope that we can speak it a certain way, because just even that, it's one of the laws, right, to open and close promptly.
Yeah.
So honors to our brother for being here so that we were able to do so with that assistance of even us the Lord prophet.
Praise God.
Honors to all them was for the participation. I really appreciate you.
Praise
That's
the
a lot
Lord.
here.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. All rise, face to east. Seated at 90 degrees, 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right. Repeat the motion American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe,
The Father of love.
the Father of love,
Truth.
truth,
Peace.
peace,
Freedom.
freedom, and justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night
By day.
and by day,
Holy prophet.
through His holy prophet.
You are Ali.
Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Islam, brother Simon, I see you back there. Islam.
God, Moors, happy holy day.
Islam, brother Jordan L. Good job tonight, Mo.
A little bit.
Brother Coleman L. Thank you, more. Appreciate you.
Islam, gratitude, peace and love, Mo.
Gratitude to you as well,
Brother
Mo.
Coleman here.
Islam, brother Grand Sheik, brother W. Condemned Bay.
Yo, I was out your way. I was out your way last week. I was out in Central Islip. Yeah,
Oh,
Central Islip.
Over there by the course, right?
Yeah, I had to go to the post office. I gotta come back out there.
Whenever you're ready, Mom, I'm here.
Yeah, give me a call next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Peace, Brother Smith there.
You're doing a good job, Mo. Making 34 proud, Mo.
Thank you, Brother Coleman. Peace and love.
Praise
Praise
Allah.
My picture's still in their house.
Peace and love, Lord.
Peace and love, Morris.
Right, Brother Peters, I'll see you too, Mo.
Okay, so it's who was that? What is it?